Good afternoon, everyone. My name is David Roche from Biopharm Engineering, and I'm the Dublin Operations Manager. So what I'd like to do quickly this afternoon is present an overview of a guide to lean capital investment. Okay? What Biopharm Engineering do in Ireland is provide an engineering consultancy. So we provide a service of design, management and delivery of large capital projects to the pharmaceutical and biopharmaceutical sectors. Now what I'd like to discuss today is really a lot of the precursor activities prior to engaging someone such as Biopharm Engineering. So the perspective from personal side is I've worked for the clients for many years. I've worked for clients in slightly different areas, UK, American, European, and they all have various nuances in their approach to capital projects and various requirements to interact between, for instance, the Irish facilities and corporate structures. So really what I like to present is feedback from us, an engineering consultant, back into that cycle, just to give an understanding of maybe some ideas to operate in a leaner manner. So really what I want to present is a lean roadmap going forward. So on the left-hand side, I hope most people recognize here the DMAIC cycle used extensively maybe for the last 10 to 15 years in the pharmaceutical industry, where we're continuously removing waste from our production systems. We're continuously improving and reducing variability in what we do, and we're getting a much more refined and controlled process. Then when it comes to a large capital project, all bets are off, okay? Large capital project, it's a step change, okay? So I know there's various perceptions of large capital projects. They're costly, they're disruptive, they upset your controlled environment, but that is the very nature of a large capital investment. So your mindset really needs to take a step change before you undertake a large capital investment, okay? So maybe to think of an analogy for a large capital project. Our starting point here, simple representation, 100 metric ton plant. Our destination for the large capital investment, we want to increase our capacity, nominal figure up to 150. So taking the traditionally defined project steps from the very start at inception to the very end where you're doing your qualification, that's what we'd like to step through now. So the analogy I'd like to use for that is simply a train journey from A to B. So the train itself, the tracks represent the project and the project life cycle, the path you're following for your investment. The train itself, people on board, is obviously your team, the fuel is the money to get you to your destination, and the timetable is the time frame. These are all the same variables we need to keep in mind when we're undertaking a large investment. So the very first early steps, inception. Why do we have a large capital project? So obviously in your current day operations, you know your business, you know your structures, you know what's in place and what your business objections are, your cost per goods, etc. So to change away from that, to move away from that comfort zone, you need to be aware that that is a change internally in your organization, which will have big implications to maybe your supply chain, to your warehousing, to your quality departments, across the board. So the real question from an inception point of view, from a major project is there a step change needed? Can this be done another way, or do we actually need to do that step change? That's the very first thing that needs to be determined. Then the next stage, perhaps the feasibility itself. Now, the feasibility really is delving a little bit lower within your organization to understand what the step change means. So the first thing really is there a benefit? Is there a cost analysis? Is the data available to determine whether the project is feasible? Is there worth in doing the project? So again, you look at the potential impacts. At this stage, you may also take in mind external strategic factors such as the place of the company within the overall organization. But the summary out of the feasibility internally is there a defined benefit in doing the capital project at this early stage? So these two steps as outlined are the steps that are generally taken internally in the company before engaging an external design consultant such as ourselves. So this is where I believe the value can be added from a lean perspective. So very quickly, a very simple document. I know some corporations already use it all the time, a project charter. It's a very, very simple document, but to push through a project charter and get all the right stakeholders engaged is key to the overall success at the very end. So really what you're looking to do is define some of the variables. Take out something like your overall project duration. You're going to have your rate of return graph. You don't know what the project investment is yet. You have an indication, you don't know what it is. What you really need to do is define what are the limits of your overall project delivery, and the project charter is the link document from your site to your global stakeholders. This is your charter from you as a site out to the wider corporate structure, this is what we will deliver, and this is what the project will deliver to you. Another requirement, which again I think is used pretty much widely across the industry, are URS documentation. The voice of the customer, no doubt, will be in place already if you're applying Lean Sigma. So some of the other items that need to be taken on board here are the other departments outside the actual immediate engineering or production departments, such as supply chain, as I said before, environmental considerations. So a site integration plan and the basic URS also will be very valuable to have in this place in time. And this URS document is really your link as a site out to the engineering consultants. It's your set of instructions to them to say, this is again what I need you to deliver. So when you're engaging early in a project, I think this graph is probably widely known in some areas. The graph itself indicates the importance of early engagement. Okay, so the darker blue line indicates the ability really to, I suppose, have your input and make the early decisions on a project. The key area here in red is almost before you have engaged your design consultant. What actually do we want as a site? So what I would suggest really is, again, all the stakeholders both on the site and outside the site need to get together and understand that those decisions are made early. Once we reach a later stage with construction, things are tangible, things are far too late to be making those decisions. That early engagement is key, and after this point then they can delegate downwards when it comes to technical decision making below that level. So this is the opportunity really, which is applying a lean exercise at this very early stage. Okay, so really what I would suggest doing really, gathering your stakeholders together, applying a Six Sigma workshop together, choosing the tools, taking in and weighting your inputs. So every project has 1,000 decisions to make. What you're looking to do is give a guideline as to what the decisions need to be later on. So this is senior management weighting the relative importance of each of their inputs to a capital project. Now I've undertaken this a number of times. The real issue really comes here is everybody's so busy, you don't have time to actually do this, and you may have 100 feasibility studies to do over a couple of years. It's allocating the right time for senior management to do it. But this potentially is the key to success. If there is a decision matrix that comes out of this feasibility study, this can be delivered to a project manager, and the engineering project manager will deliver the project because they have a guideline and they have a map. So moving on, you're now engaging your engineering consultant. So you brought these things to the table. You generally now have your project manager in place and you're selecting your consultant to go. The important thing at this point in time is there can only be one train driver. We can't fit a number of people in here. The key question at a concept study is, and this is what you're engaging from an engineering point of view, is this the correct option we've selected? So there's numerous engineering options. Which is the right one? We have a cost estimate to go with it, we have a timeline to go with it, but the key question is the concept selected the right one at this point? The second part of design is the front-end design. It's all about refinement. Same precedence we just looked at here. You're now confirming the route you're going, you're confirming the timeline, and you're looking at the fuel load on board for the train, which is your finances are in place and your costs are confirmed. The key question, and this is your last stage gauge at this point, is should the green light be given? So this is the last point from a client perspective where you can stop the project without a major implication to, if you like, the cost spend and depreciation and expense, etc. for the site. So quickly into detail design. I think detail design sometimes can be treated as a misnomer, the fact it has design in it. What we're suggesting really is this isn't a design phase, this is engineering implementation. So really, you don't have a lot of leeway other than making engineering decisions. So at this point, any decisions that change the path you're on at this stage are introducing waste into the process of major project delivery. And that's the understanding that this is not a design phase in our opinion, this is really an implementation phase in the engineering. To summarise the final two phases, just constant time. Again, at this stage really, with the Trainology, everything is full steam ahead now. You are spending hundreds of thousands per month at this stage. You have hundreds of people potentially working on your site. Everything is up and running at this stage. Any deviation to the plan, minor, can be absorbed within allowances. If there's a major change at this stage, it's potentially catastrophic to what you've committed to do with the charter. Your time frame, your overall costs is approved at the end of your design, and really you're checking at the end of C&Q is, have we actually got the right destination? That's what you're confirming at the end point. So just to reiterate the main points again in the main phases, the planning phase really is the key one, I would argue, from a lean perspective. The early engagement with senior management, the planning, to putting the time and effort into delivering that documentation set gives a very strong guide to a capital project. For the main phase of the journey, which is the design phase, you're utilising the engineering expertise both on-site and off-site together combined to give you the right options and refine those options to deliver the best for your company. And the implementation phase really is, you're looking around, hopefully from management level, you're monitoring day to day, you're keeping things on track, but you're taking a back foot. The project is taken on a life of its own, and no major changes really ideally would be on board at this stage. So just remember, it's a big entity. When a large capital project is running, it's a big train. You don't want to be in front of it if you can help it. So that's all I have. Is there any questions from the floor? So thank you very much, everyone.